Shalom, shalom, family. It's your sister Jay again, here today with another segment of Country Living in the City. Here today, I'm transitioning again, as usual. I'm always 15 steps behind, but I'm doing my transitioning of my gardens. Everything is pulled up, everything's been harvested for the year, and I'm doing a last fertilization. And today I'm going to show you just an easy, simple way to compost to make this soil as rich as possible for the next growing season. Since I usually in the winter you start transitioning everything inside, harvesting seeds, storing for the winter, and I do some growing on the inside of herbs and onions and some things that I can do hydroponically. But out here, I'm going to, it's literally setting up the gardens for next year. So what you do is if you live in zone 7 and above, which we live here in Ohio, we're in zone 6A. So most likely you'll have a winter. The forecast said it's supposed to snow on this Monday. So what I'm doing is raking up the few leaves I have. All the trees haven't let all their leaves go yet, but once that happens, well, all you do is after you fertilize, and I tilled a little, well, Brandy tilled, I didn't do that. But she tilled up, and we put 10-10 fertilizer, 10-10-10, triple tens on there, and put it all throughout the garden, and then tilled it up. And all I'm going to do is do a simple leaf composting by taking these leaves out of my yard and just dumping them in there. And the more leaves you get, the more you put in there, the bigger that. And then in the spring, if it snows, it really helps break down the leaves on top of the soil. The soil is pretty rich back here, but I kept having problems with moles and everything. I'm going to figure out how to keep those little buggers out of my garden. But I'm hoping this year the soil will be so full of good nutrients and microbials that it will grow great vegetables next year. So I'm going to just continue to put as many leaves I can back here. And then, like I said, I'll wait for the snow. If it doesn't snow, because you never know what the weather going to be in Ohio, I'll just wet it a little bit because I want it to start to break down for the rest of the season, so I'll be ready to grow in the spring. So I have some more tips I'm going to show you in the front where I took down all the sunflowers. Well, that is enough about composting. As always, I love you, my family, my people. Stay safe and healthy, eating foods from the Most High. Until next time, Shalom. Shalom, family. I'm back again. Just showing you some things. Another way to prepare your landscape, your gardens, your herbs, your perennials for the winter. Here I have lavender. That's my lavender. And this is sage. I just started these sage right at the end of summer. And they're thriving pretty good. And they'll do well next year. But to prepare them for the winter, I'm using my organic fertilizer. And I'm digging around. And I have wood chips around too. They also break down during the winter. Because if you notice,
The cup's in the way.
Huh?
The cup's in the way. They can't see what you're doing.
Oh. Brandy just told me the cup was in the way. Okay. Well, I'm digging around the plant here, and as you see, with the wood chips and everything buried, I'm going to put some fertilizer around here and work it in, and cover up under there, because it's good to give it a good fertilizing, one last fertilizing, and it's supposed to run. I'm hoping it does snow on Monday, because that'll help keep everything moist, and this stuff will continue to grow. And it'll stunt during the winter, because the winter nothing really grows, it just stays stunted. But because I'm cutting some of the leaves off, I'm kind of putting it in shock, and then it's gonna stunt. So in the spring, it'll be ready to bolt out and grow. So that's a good gardening tip for people who live in places that get a cold winter, which you never know in Ohio, because sometimes we have bad winters, and sometimes we have mild winters. But one thing what has been consistent, it does snow every now and then. Now with my lavender here, I'm going to do the same thing. Now this plant is very big. I'm going to dig around and put some fertilizer, and I'm going to actually clip some off, because I'm going to be making soap and lotion, and I'll be showing you that when I get in the house, because I'm going to make that in the house. And so the perennials, these will actually stay the entire winter, but you know, they might dry out. Some of the all of the needles may come off. So, but it will regrow, and it will regrow in the springtime. So I'm going to clip some of these off, and you always want to clip all the way to the stem. As you see, isn't that beautiful? Oh, this stuff smells great. I just love what God do, because I didn't do any of this. I just put the seed in the ground. God programmed this seed to do this, and I hope this plant gets even bigger next year. There we go. So I think I'm gonna take some off of this one. Ooh, this one is wild. Over here. And I use this in my lotions and my soaps. And I'm going to learn a distilling process to actually make perfume. I'm working on that. I'm actually taking a class on it. Look at that. This is a healthy lavender plant. Look at that beauty. No pesticides, non-GMO, organic, no chemicals, and it's good for you. This stuff is good for your skin, all kinds of things. Learn how to grow, people. It's a wonderful thing. So, well, that's all my tips for today. I love you, my people, my family. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you next time. Shalom.